I'm excited to share an inspirational idea and moment with all of you this morning. And it really started out as I hear a lot of us when we come up, sometimes the theme is, I wasn't sure what to talk about. And I will be up front. I felt the same way a few days ago. And as I get up each morning, I have this ritual called my morning ritual. And so I happen to just be sitting at my coffee table, and I heard these wind chimes in the background. And the wind chimes have a really special and significant meaning. So it made me think of a few different things. The wind chimes were a gift for my husband. My mother-in-law sadly passed away last month, and she had been battling cancer for quite some time. So it was also one of those situations where, in a sense, you feel a sense of peace because you know that person's been suffering and it's been very difficult towards the end. But as I heard these wind chimes, it made me think about the whole entire month of March. Because the month of March wasn't just losing one person, it wasn't losing two people, 3, 4, it was actually losing 6 people that I knew in my life. And when something like death happens, I think it gets us to go through many different thoughts and even some wisdom. And some of the first emotions I dealt with, like many of you who have lost someone have gone through, is first there's maybe a sense of confusion. Why did this happen? You know, my cousin passed away. She had pancreatic cancer. She was a mom. She was just a second-time grandmother. And you go from that confusion, and then you kind of go into, I don't know, anger. Why? This doesn't make sense. It's not fair. It's not right. And then the second passing of a friend of mine who was only 51 years old, who I met through networking in St. Louis. Same emotions. And the thing that I want to draw upon here is this idea. The idea got me to sit back and think about this acronym I created called ABC. So the A, when you lose people that you know closely, or maybe they're even someone that you know from a distance. The A got me to think of, A is to, as we look back on our lives, if we wanted to live it differently, what are some of the biggest lessons if I had to do it all over again? So the A for me is ask for help. Some of the people I've lost in my life over the years were going through either a big marital challenge or a job challenge, and I can't tell you how many times, maybe you've been that person too, where I reached out to them and said, just maybe there's another way, maybe get some counseling, maybe I can help you, but the person just kind of brushed that off and never really did anything about it. So I think we have this thought in our society that if I ask for help, it means I'm weak, or there's something wrong with me, or maybe it means I'm going to be confessing something that I've got to deal with. So my first invitation is ask for help when things aren't going right. The B stands for believe that you have a choice. B also stands for breakthroughs come from breakdowns. So I'm not sure about all of you, but most of the things in my life that have not gone as planned, whether it's been a relationship breakdown, or maybe it's an opportunity that slips through the cracks, or maybe it's something that has to do with losing someone or something else. In the moment, it always feels like a huge sense of loss. Why? How come this didn't work out the way it did? But wouldn't you all agree with me that sometimes you look back on those moments and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't make that choice. I'm so glad I didn't go down that path. I'm so glad that one thing didn't work out. The last part of this is C, and C stands for choose your mission. Like all of you, I have a lot of friends, family, and sometimes I see people live their lives doing what they think they should be doing, how they should be living their lives, what it should look like. And I think that it's easy to forget sometimes that we always have a choice. We have a choice to live our lives the way we want to live it. We have a choice to surround ourselves with people we want to be surrounded by, like this amazing community right here. But on the other side of that, sometimes we live a life of have to, should, and must. And so my invitation to you today, as I said, is remember the A, the B, the C, ask for help. Breakdowns can actually go over to a breakthrough, and then last but not least, live your life by your choice, live your life as you choose to live it, and live your mission.